Okay, so this is the last section for chapter 449, time management. The objective is to explain how time management, problem solving, and goal setting contribute to reducing stress. Time management is a system of practical skills that allows an individual to use time in the most effective and productive way possible. It helps to prevent or reduce stress, puts the individual in charge, keeps things in perspective when events are overwhelming, increases productivity, uses time more effectively, improves enjoyment of activities, provides time for relaxing and enjoying life. The first step of time management is to keep an activity record for a period of several days. This will allow an individual to determine how he or she actually uses the time available. You can list activities that they are performed, note the amount of time each activity takes, and evaluate how effective the activity was to see patterns emerging. So you would list all activities. So if you take 5 minutes to watch TikTok or YouTube, then you would write that down. Or if you watch TV for a half an hour, you would write that down. How long it would take you if you cook dinner, how long did it take you to cook dinner? How long did it take you to do laundry or put your clothes away that you needed to, or how much time you spend exercising? Certain periods of the day will show higher energy levels and improved quality of work. Waste of time also will become apparent. Time spent looking for objects, talking on the phone, texting, playing games on the phone or computer, and doing things that are not worth time spent is time that can be put to more constructive use. That being said, you also need that time to relax and to do what you need to do. So all your time does not have to be constructive. It is important to talk on the phone to your friends or your family or texting. Um, Playing games may be important to you if that's your way of relaxing. You just have to be aware with anything how much time is spent on that. So, do you complain often that you don't have enough time to get your homework done, but are you playing games on your phone or watching TikTok or YouTube for 3 to 5 hours a day? So that puts stuff into perspective. But if your way of relaxing is to play those games or watch YouTube or TikTok or to talk on the phone or to text your friend, that is certainly still important to do. You do not have to be constructive all the time. After this information has been obtained, you begin to organize your time. Schedule important projects during periods of the day when energy levels are high. So you are a morning person, then that might be when you want to get those projects done. If you're more energetic or energized in the afternoon or evening, then that's when you want to get the projects done. Rest or relax when energy levels are low. A goal is a desired result or purpose toward which one is working towards. Goals can be compared to maps that help you find your direction and reach your destination. An old saying states, if you don't know where you're going, you will never get there. Goals allow you to know where you're going in the direction of your life. So what is your goal? Do you have a goal to attend college? If that's the case, what are the different steps that you need to do to attend college? Is it your goal to get a good paying job shortly after high school by just obtaining a certificate or a diploma, or to get on the job training? What are smaller goals that you have to do to reach that goal? Maybe you have a goal to run a marathon. It does not just have to be educational goals. Maybe you have a goal to lose 10 pounds, or maybe you have a goal to gain 10 pounds. So you would think of any goals that you have, and then you would set, and we'll talk about short-term goals. You would find a way to reach that goal. We need both short-term and long-term goals. So long-term goals are achievements that may take a period of years or even a lifetime to accomplish. And short-term goals usually take days, weeks, or months to accomplish and are the smallest steps taken to reach the long-term goal. So if your long-term goal is college, then your short-term goals may be to complete high school, and that could be a long-term goal too, to complete certain classes in high school. A short-term goal may be to put out your applications for college, or a short-term goal may be to apply for scholarships for college. A short-term goal is to take the SAT. The short-term goals are shorter, smaller goals. Let's say it's your goal to run a marathon. So a short-term goal may be to run a mile, and then to run 2, and then to run 3, or to run a 5K, and then a 10K, and then a half marathon, and then your marathon. So your long-term goal is that bigger goal, and then the short-term goals are small steps you take to accomplish that long-term goal. Completion of goal will lead to a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment and provide motivation to attempt other goals. You need to set your goals effectively. You should state the goal in a positive manner. Use words such as accomplish rather than avoid. Define goals clearly and precisely. If possible, set a time limit to accomplish the goal. So let's use the marathon. I want to run a marathon next January of 2021. I want to run my first 5K in April of 2021. I want to run my first 10K in June or July of 2021. So you set your goals, make the goal nice and precise. If you're able to make it measurable, and also put a time limit. If I just set a goal to run a marathon and I never put a time limit as to when I'm going to do it, then it's hard to reach that goal. Prioritize multiple goals. Determine which goals are most important and complete them first. You also want to write down your goals. This makes the goal seem real and attainable. Also, if you can write it down where you can see it, so it reminds you every day of that goal. Maybe, let's say, if you want to lose 10 pounds, then you would want to maybe put that goal on the mirror and think about how much better you would feel from the physical standpoint to have those 10 pounds gone, or put it by the fridge. If you want to, if college is your goal, then that college where you want to go to, you could put their mascot someplace in your bedroom where you look at it often and to remind yourself that's where you want to go. Make sure the goal is at the right level. Goals should present a challenge but not be too difficult or impossible to complete. So if I was to say I want to run a marathon in 1 month and I'm not a runner or have trained, then that is not attainable. I would probably injure myself and I would not meet that goal. But if I set that goal for a year down and I start training, then it would be more attainable. Or if I have a goal to become a concert pianist in 1 year, and again, I haven't played the piano for 25 years, then it's not going to be attainable and I probably won't complete it. And then you become frustrated. After goals have been established, concentrate on ways to accomplish them. Review necessary skills, information that must be obtained, resources to use, problems that may occur, and which goals should be completed first. So again, let's say if you want to run a marathon in a year. So what are some problems that may come up during that year which may prevent you from that goal? So one may here in Michigan could be weather. If you want to be able to run mostly outside. So if it's snowy and icy or negative 20 degrees outside, you may not want to run outside. So if you're not able to run outside, what can you do instead? You could go to the gym and run on the treadmill, or you could run, if you have a treadmill at home, you could run on the treadmill at home. What resources do you need to run that marathon? You may want to get a book to help you train for it. If you're going to run outside in the winter in Michigan, you would need proper clothing. You need proper shoes. So that kind of, those are the kind of skills or resources that you would need. Organize steps that would lead to achieving the goal. Again, like I said, with the marathon, you would make smaller steps to complete that 5K first, and then the 10K, and then a half marathon, and give you plenty of time in between the training for each one. After the goal has been achieved, enjoy the sense of accomplishment and satisfaction for a job well done. And this can be for your short-term goals and your long-term goals. Be proud of yourself. You did that. You worked hard to meet that goal, even if it might have been, maybe your goal was to apply for 3 scholarships. Once you send in those applications, be proud of yourself. Good job. You accomplished that goal. Check it off your list and be glad that you did it. If you fail in obtaining the goal, evaluate the situation and determine why you failed. Did you not give yourself enough time to do it? Did you not put enough effort into it? Do you need more resources to be able to obtain that goal? Was the goal unrealistic? Did you lack the skills or knowledge to obtain the goal? Is there another way to achieve the goal? Remember that failure can be a positive learning experience. Definitely learn from your failures. Any time you fail, whatever it may be, whether it's in school or outside of school, with a goal, make it into a learning experience. And that failure is worth something. You can learn something in that failure, and you always want to remember that. Time management is used to ensure success in meeting established goals. So an effective time management plan involves the following 7 steps, and we're going to talk about each one individually. Analyze and prioritize, identify habits and preferences, schedule tasks, make a daily to-do list, plan your work, avoid distractions, and take credit for a job well done. So the first one is to analyze and prioritize. Review and list your established goals. Determine what tasks must be completed to achieve those goals. List tasks in order from most important to the least important. And decide if any task can be delegated to another person to complete, and delegate whenever possible. So if someone's able, maybe your goal is to collect items for the homeless. So can you have other people that can help you collect those items for you? Or can other people help to organize those items for you? And eliminate any unnecessary tasks. Make sure each task that you have listed is needed to accomplish that goal. Identify habits and preferences. Know when you have the most energy to complete work and when it is best to schedule rest, exercise, or social activities. The rest, exercise, social activities are all important also. Schedule your tasks. Use the daily planner and calendar to write down all events. Include time for rest, exercise, meals, hobbies, and social activities. The conflict arises with 2 things scheduled at the same time. Prioritize and reschedule. So a calendar is great. To go back to the marathon. So if you want to run a marathon the following January, next January, then I would write marathon in big red letters there. If you want to do the 5K in January, then April, write 5K in April. So write your goals down on your calendars and write those small steps in between the goals that you have to meet. So if you're going to maybe run 1 mile on Monday or run 2 miles on Tuesday. So you write those steps that you need to take. If it's for applying for colleges, maybe one of your goals is to apply for scholarships. So you would have that end date of when you need to apply for scholarships, and then maybe each day or every other day you would write down a scholarship that you want to apply for. Make a daily to-do list. List all tasks on a daily basis. Cross the task off the list when you complete it, which to me it's a very sense of accomplishment. When I have a list of household chores that I want to get done, I usually make a list and then I happily cross it off to know that it is done. Enjoy the sense of satisfaction that occurs when you complete each job. If some things on the list are not completed at the end of the day, determine if they should be added to the next day's list or if they can be eliminated. Plan your work. Work at a comfortable pace. Try to do the hardest task first. Do one thing at a time whenever possible so you can complete it and cross it off the list. Make sure you have everything you need to complete the task before you begin. Ask for assistance when needed. So, look at the way you like to do things. So do you like to do the hardest or the longest task first? Or do you like to do the quickest ones first? So I would say everyone's different. Sometimes you want to do the hardest task or the longest task to get it out of the way and get it done with. But sometimes people might prefer to do those shorter, quicker tasks because they're able to check more things off the list. And so you definitely have to look to see what works best for you. Work smarter, not harder. Avoid distractions. Make every effort to avoid interruptions. Use a telephone answering system and screen calls. Avoid procrastination and learn to say no when asked to interrupt your work for something that is not essential. Distractions are hard, especially with our phones. that we can get everything right on our phone, and our phones are usually beside us and turned on. Go ahead and turn your phone upside down, put it on mute and silent, and put it away from you. If you think your parents may want to call you, because definitely if parents call you, you want to call them back. Or if they text you, you want to respond. But you could, if they're not home, you could text them and let them know I'm doing my homework and I don't want any interruptions for the next hour. So then they know what you're doing. So definitely if needed, put your phones away so that you don't have those interruptions. You may have to turn the TV off. Sometimes the TV can be an interruption. Sometimes people like the noise when the TV is on. For me, it's an interruption because I stop too often to watch the TV and what's going on. So you have to do what works best for you. Take credit for a job well done. When a job is complete, recognize your achievement. Cross the completed work off the list. Reward yourself with a short break or another positive thing before going on to the next job on the list. So in summary, time management provides an organized and efficient use of time. However, even with careful planning, things do not always get done according to plan. Unexpected emergencies in the assignment, a complication, and or overscheduling are common events in life. And that is something that you will have to continue to deal with and make do with it. When a time management plan does not work, try to determine the reasons for failure. Reevaluate goals and revise the plan. Patience, practice, and honest effort will eventually produce a plan that provides self-satisfaction for achieving goals, less stress, quality time for rest and relaxation, a sense of being in control, and a healthier lifestyle and increased productivity. And that is it for chapter 4.